Prince Philip died on March 9 at Windsor at 99, with a burgeoning resume and a royal pedigree of his own stretching back to Greece and Germany, truly the senior statesman of all the royal European families. Consort to the monarch, sire of Charles, Anne, Andrew and Edward, and indefatigable working royal who clocked some 21,000 plus events on his own over the course of his long service at the Queen's side, not counting the thousands of royal events to which he escorted her. By midday in England on Thursday, flags were at half-staff nationwide. Known for his at times caustic wit, Philip was of Greek and Danish, Prussian royal blood, and carried the Battenberg, or Mountbatten family name into the marriage. Philip had the most tumultuous country-hopping upbringing in exile, certainly, in the 1920s and 1930s, an exile of a certain ancien-regime luxe style. His uncle was King Constantine of Greece, his father, a lieutenant general of cavalry in the Greco-Turkish War of the early Twenties who was accused of treason after a Turkish victory and subsequently exiled. Philip spent time at schools in France and England, winding up at the acclaimed, public, private school of Gordounstoun, before heading on into the Royal Navy's Academy in 1939. He saw gallant service in World War II, was an adept officer who deftly deflected Luftwaffe dive bombers from his ship, and returned to England, which had started to feel like home. There, he met Elizabeth Windsor, and began his courtship of her, reported impressing her by springing over the net after a tennis match. Reportedly, he didn't want the fuss of a big funeral, although it can be argued that the nation will require it. He was beloved by the British for his no-nonsense air, his ramrod straight Navyman's posture, and his blunt words laced with a certain old-school humor at events public and private. Initial reports state that the family will celebrate his life with a service in St. George's Chapel, where, famously, Philip's grandson Harry married Meghan Markle. Scant hours after Philip's death had been announced by Buckingham Palace on Thursday morning, a public debate had broken out about whether grandson Harry would make, or would be able to make, the effort to return for that service, or, in fact, whether he'd show up for any other family service for his grandfather, private or public. It wasn't thought likely that the British would be visited by Meghan Markle, who is in the middle of her pregnancy with their second child. But the character of the debate was interesting. It was as if Britain was holding its breath, waiting to be disappointed by Harry yet again.